Thank you for the introduction. Lovely to be here. And thank you, Olga. I didn't really know what I was signing up for. So the invitation came from Olga, and she said, I don't care what you talk about, just make it poetic. In fact, just read a poem. It would be super cliche to read a poem, so I'm going to tell you a story. It's not poetic, some of it's quite tragic, and all of it is very honest and very heartfelt from someone that cares very deeply about this planet and all of the myriad life forms that it supports. So who am I and why am I here, and what gives me the authority to talk to you all? As you know, my name's Josef, live here in Stockholm, and fortunately or not, I'm the sort of person that needs to give myself my own job title. I don't really fit very neatly into a box. But I'm very hopeful that there'll be more people like me in the future and that I can inspire a movement towards taking care of something very precious that we know as life. So what do I do? I'm a soil consultant, and the outcome I desire to teach farmers how to fall in love with soil. So I work with all farmers, chemical, biodynamic, organic, perennial crops, annual crops, all sorts. And so why do I do this? Many of the farmers that I work with talk about farming being an issue of logistics. It's like bringing your kids up and just being a logistical issue. We're dealing with life here. And so when cultivating life, I think that we need to actually engage in ways that evoke our humanity and human senses. Farming is almost a problem to be solved. So I grew up on a dairy farm in West Wales. I was gifted to be the farmers gifted rather with deep glacial soils, nestled under Angel Mountain, rainforests, epic coastal regions. These areas had not been touched by human hand for tens of thousands of years, and they are sacred. And in the epicenter of these areas was something that I now call Farmageddon. This was my home, this was the dairy farm I grew up on. So my grandmother bought this dairy farm when she was in her early 20s. Initially it had a herd of 25 cows milked by hand. 70 years later, only 70 years later, it's milking 800 cows and causing this reaping havoc in the landscape. And so this experience of growing up in that environment, it just brought this huge level of sadness. Like I became sad to see this, like the cognitive dissonance of such beauty, sanctity, and productivity on the one side, and then this destruction, this, excuse my French, but fucking hell. And I became grief-stricken by this experience. So I spoke to my grandmother. She was a very powerful, strong lady, about this experience, and she was like, just tell you a little bit about her. She was born into an aristocratic family in London. Rumour has it that she grew up drinking tea with the Queen, ran off with an Irishman to West Wales, had 9 children, bought a farm from borrowed money from her brothers, and the rest is history. So I shared this experience with her, and she told me, she looked me straight in the eye. I was about 6 or 7 years old, and she said, if you see something wrong with the world, it's no one else's responsibility to fix it but yours. And I think I carry these words with me today. I think that's ultimately what brings me here, is that we have unprecedented levels of freedom, but unless it's coupled with responsibility, it becomes hedonistic and it becomes toxic. So, excuse me, I need to read my notes. 8 minutes is a tight timeline. So, why do I talk about farmers falling in love with soil? Well, as all relationships depict, soil is relational. And while relationships are imbued with love, with tenderness, kindness, dignity, integrity, they become beautiful. And we all need beautiful farming systems. That's something that is deeply wrong with the world. Our farming systems are ugly, they're toxic, and we are at war with the world. And we're feeding humanity something that's not fit for human consumption. So I believe when we deviate from this responsibility, we leave a vacuum. And this vacuum has been filled by narratives of progress, what we call science, profit, and efficiency. The food system ultimately a symptom of the lack of responsibility that we take as a collective. So in the context of my job, coming back to soil, I see soil as an emergent property. And what I love about it is it never bullshits you. It's always straight up. It's like dogs in that way. They'll always tell you what's going on, what's been, what's to come, but yet paradoxically always full of potential. What I've noticed of working with farmers is when they fall back in love with farming, is that their profitability gets better, their soils get better, their crops get better, and the landscape and the ecosystems improve. There's not many farmers that I've worked with that know what to do, so my job in this context, if you will, in this constellation, is to support them to become better farmers. The stark reality is that these issues we face are not limited to farming. We all need to get better at being human. We can't shirk our contract with life. And it's only through the marriage of wisdom, intelligence, and corresponding action that we can rightfully take our name as wise man. So just to round off, my partner frequently tells me, if you don't get rubbed, you're never going to shine. Our food system rubs all of us, whether we acknowledge it or not. And I believe by offering ourselves to something greater with a big enough why, our lives become meaningful, purposeful, and oftentimes joyful. It's through this struggle that we grow and we morph into better and higher versions of ourselves. This is how evolution functions. It's all part of life's mystery and rich tapestry. So I just wanted to round off by saying I believe it's people like Olga who stand up, take responsibility and accountability for what we see needs fixing in the world. These are our northern stars, our lighthouse, forward-looking, defining a future and a legacy that we can be truly proud of, based on the most beautiful of human attributes. I'm not finished yet. So I'm going to leave you with a short quote from my guru. He's dead, Masanobu Fukuoka. He wrote a beautiful book called The One Straw Revolution. He says, the ultimate goal of farming is not growing of crops, but the cultivation and perfection of human beings.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.